Okay guys, back with another one. This is a Ibanez RG270. So gonna end up doing a whole bunch of stuff to this before it's done, before it's finished, just getting started on it. So the first thing I'm gonna do is get rid of this low quality trim and use a higher grade low quality trim. This particular licensed Floyd Rose is not a double locking trim necessarily. The strings feed in through your saddle adjustment screws and run up to the locking nut. So actually when you work your whammy bar, your strings can move around back here. They're not locked in the saddle. I have a Floyd Rose Special that, actually has the locks in the saddle. So it's actually a double locking trim. But I'm quite sure this is not going to fit in this route because of the way the shoulders are on the plate. So what I have out of my bag of junk is another licensed Floyd Rose trim that's actually a lock-in trim that has two broke saddles. So I'm going to take the gold saddles, all that out of this, and the block out of this, and put in this, because it'll actually fit in the route. And I think the black and gold together is going to look pretty cool. So anyway, that's what we're doing. Also, this one had the deal where the whammy bar screws in, kind of like a strap, got a screw in. This one has the one that the whammy bar actually has, screws down onto it. These never stay tight, but they're better than that. So I'm going to switch them around. But I'm going to go ahead and take all this apart and clean it real good before I start putting anything back on it. Alright, I've got this one disassembled. Give the little fine-tuning screws a little polish on top. I could do a little bit on the sides, but I'm not really worried about that. Something to know is they brad the end of these so they won't screw all the way out. If you try to take them out, you're going to bring the threads out of the piece, out of your plate with it. So be careful about that. If you try to remove these, you've got to kind of work on the ends of the adjusters a little bit. But anyway, they're fine. That's going to work great. Hopefully now everything's going to transfer from here to here. There's so many variations, so many little differences with these things. So I may hit a roadblock. This may not work, but maybe it will. I've checked a few tolerances and sizes, and I think they're going to work. But we shall see. But I had this stuff laying around. No reason to go buying nothing if I don't have to. If I can take something and make it work. And I think the black and the gold is going to look pretty cool. That's got a purple body on it now, and I ain't really about all that. So probably going to go with a flat black on the headstock and the body. Possibly. Maybe do some old, pinstriping, hand-painted pinstripe, kind of hot rod, some red and white or something on there to kind of make it look neat. Make sure I don't lose the locks. Keep everything together so we know where we're at. I could make that easier if I back these off. This bridge plate, I guess is what you would call it, is actually probably better than this one, but I don't think it would fit on the guitar without changing the route, and I don't want to get into all that. It'll be fine. This will be an upgrade. Hopefully. I was checking. Yep, these have numbers on the bottom in case you get them mixed up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There is a difference. So don't just take those off in any order or you will be messed up on your string height. Okay. Well, that was tight, like not one bit. Wow. Not even hand tight. So it's a good thing I took it apart before the block fell out the back of the guitar. Okay, I believe both of these are small blocks. You know, pot metal. And I don't have a little drug dealing scale to weigh them, but they're really, really close. That one's so heavy it fell on the floor. But this one says Floyd Rose on it, so that's what we're going to use. If I remember to put all the parts on. Be great. Is it gonna want to go on? There it goes. Okay. One of these deals where I need 3 hands. This is my project. I ended up getting this guitar on a trade. It's going to be my project. This ain't going to all come together in a few videos. I've got to order a new locking nut for it. And this is going to be an in-between jobs thing. This is kind of one of these after hours videos. Anyway, got another Ibanez SA model. Gonna be doing some work on it. And we're gonna put those in there. I got a little bit of Loctite, but I think that would be overkill. Don't think I need that. All right, now we're ready to start putting our saddles on in the appropriate order. Gonna put them on here any which way right now. And I believe that's going to be excellent. Thick. Possibly. Yep. They are the same. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get all this put back together. Okay. Got all the saddles put back on. Got my screws tightened down the back to hold in these locks because you don't want to lose those. And that's the thing about this old bridge that I used this plate off of, is the locks are still in the saddles. These saddles are, other than the two that were broke, the rest of them, in a, just look okay right off the bat. Without looking at them really, really close, I don't see any cracks or anything. But they're made out of not very good metal. That's why you don't buy the cheap stuff. But seeing as how we had the cheap stuff, that's what we're going to use. But we're going to carefully use the cheap stuff. Okay, we want to get rid of this thing. We want to put this on so we can use our thread on whammy bar. And these things never stay tight. It's like you can, I don't know. But anyway, there you go. Salvage 101. We got that done. So, I'm going to clean this up. Put all this stuff in little baggies. Save it for another time. And, yeah. We'll get the guitar back over here. And we'll take this other trim off and see what we got going on. Got all my other parts that I took off of, used, stole from, all bagged up. Man, this stuff is this can be priceless in the right situations. And if you price some of those parts on eBay or Reverb or wherever, buying those little locks, saddles, that can run into some money pretty quick. Pretty quick. Okay. I'm going to get rid of this. We're going to take some pressure off the strings. Get them off. There we go. All right, now this is what I was talking about, how these trim systems, and I probably should have blocked that up to make it easier. Let's see if I can make it happen. That's not ideal, but maybe it'll work. Just for now, the strings feed through here. That's the way they go on. I think you can see that. So it doesn't actually lock the string. Is it going to move in and out of here when you work it? It's got string tension on it. I kind of doubt it. It probably works fine, but it's just not actually a double locking trim. It's just locks at the nut. To be technical about it. It actually is a lot easier than the other, but you know. All right. Get these out of the way. I'm going to start saving those little strings of the ball ends. There's got to be some use for that besides cleaning out the tips of screws and this, that, and the other. Okay. Let's get it flipped over. I'm going to take that out to take the pressure off of that. I just wanted to do that to get the strings out. Check the DC resistance on these pickups. Bridge was like 13. Middle was like 5.38, I think. The neck was 1250. And they don't sound too bad. But we'll probably go back with some DiMarzio's, Seymour Duncan, or whatever we come up with that day. Come on out of there. Come on. There. Okay. And we've got 5 springs. And the ground wire wrapped around them. Now then, this should basically just fall out. There we go. It fell out. And we've got more parts. This is actually a functioning bridge, but I just didn't think it was going to do what I wanted to do. I think we're better off with this if it fits. And it does. Perfect. Perfect. See, I would have had problems with this plate because of the route, I think. It might have fit, but I doubt it. Barely. It would have fit barely. But I think that looks a whole lot cooler. So, yeah. It looks the part better. That doesn't look right. So, that's where we're at with that. And I'm not going to worry about nothing else to do with this because I'm going to paint the guitar. You know, it's this dark purple. Got some damage. Couple of places on it anyway. And we're going to probably do, like I say, a flat black. We might get crazy and do a crackle. Something like that. But while we're back here at the back, let's take a real quick look at our electronics just to see what we got. I'm not going to do no push-pull because I don't like the sound of a split humbucker. The only guitar that I've had dealings with that split the humbucker that sounded decent is the Sinister Gates Schecter Custom with the invaders in it. It seemed to sound pretty cool. Okay, I did play the guitar. The electronics all work. There's a look inside. 2 500K pots, circuit board switch. So, rather kind of cozy. I want to put a kill switch on this thing, but I'm not sure. I've got just a little space right in there that would put me. Yeah, they're rather cozy. Probably right in here. Don't really think there's. Well, I got room between the. Could put it in there. Got to have a kill switch on a metal guitar. Why not? Okay. Knobs. Okay. I guess the next time you see this thing, most likely it will be stripped down, sanded down. Maybe even repainted. I'm just going to rattle can flat black and let her ride. So anyway, we got our trim fixed. And let's make sure that none of this here is crazy. No, that looks fine. Okay. And I may have some real fancy thought I might have some real fancy gold studs. I'll have to look. Anyway, guys, I appreciate everybody watching. Like, subscribe, hang on for the ride. So until the next time, see you.